What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're just getting here, don't forget to check around and check out some of my stuff. Go to the channel. Feel free to leave comments and whatever have you. It's your playground, man. Okay, so before we get into today's video, which is going to be about gun shyness in hounds, what we're going to do is we're going to give some shout outs. Okay, first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to my top contributor, Kurt Culbertson. Yeah, man, I see you, dude. You're on my videos. You're commenting a lot. I really appreciate it. It keeps the activity going. It keeps me engaged. I love it, man. Shout out to Lauren. Thanks for your comments. I really do appreciate it. I want to give a huge shout out to Robert Brock. I don't know if I've hit you with a shout out yet. Maybe I've gotten your channel, not you. But I'm going to give a shout out to you personally because you ran across me in a Facebook group. You know, and we had a little chat there back and forth in the comment section. Really do appreciate you, man. I appreciate you subscribing and watching me and that whole thing. Another shout out goes to KanHoll Outdoors. KanHoll Outdoors. I really hope, man, that you tough it out with that dog. It sounds like he's right on the edge of just getting it done flat out for you. They get in this funny, awkward stage a lot, and man, it's a rough one. It's so hard to deal with. It's super frustrating. But we just got to just stick with it, lay our groundwork, keep our groundwork with us, and just keep trudging along. So I want to know how that dog's doing here in a couple months. So then another huge shout out to Hyper Outdoors, subscriber. Thank you for coming in and subscribing. And Kendall Williamson, thanks for the comment on the Coon Squaller video. That I really appreciate that, man. I think that is the number one thing a lot of guys miss when it comes to coon squalling. If you guys haven't seen that, it's in my shorts. But yeah, I really appreciated that comment. Okay, so let's do a couple updates and a couple briefs, and we'll shoot into the video. Okay, so I was touched on a couple videos ago about getting the email put in place so you guys can send me videos that I can get featured on the channel. I went ahead and did that, so it's malbrookstudios@gmail.com, all lowercase. If you want to just send me a clip with your name and your dog's information on there, I can get that set up and I'll sift through some. If I get a few to go through, I will go ahead and start putting a little section in the videos to actually do that. So feel free to shoot me an email and ask me some questions. I'm open all the time, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I got some promo codes for a couple different places. I'm not going to bother you guys with it here. I'll leave the links down in the description with the information for that. Okay, so with that intro out of the way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into the video of gun shyness. Okay, so gun shyness, super common. Okay, you got a little bit of gun shyness, a lot of gun shyness. The dog absolutely freaks out and doesn't know how to function because it heard something, down to the dog might just flinch a little bit, shake its ear, don't care. Okay, so this range of gun shyness can kind of look like a lot of different stuff. Scared, jumpy, skittish, running away, running off, hiding, cowering, laying straight down, and just being strucken by fear. Okay, this is a lot of the things that can happen. What it looks like on the dog, what can happen because a dog is gun shy is a little bit different. They might want to leave the tree before you get there because they know you're coming with that gun to go ahead and knock something down, and they know that sound's coming. They don't want to be no part of it. Okay, so another one is they won't want to leave. They won't want to hunt. They don't want to hunt because they know I go hunting, I'm going to do this, and he's going to come here and do that. Another thing is they won't want to load up. Okay, so loading up could be an issue. It just really depends on how gun shy your dog actually is, what effects can ripple through that dog because of that, and it will really cause you a lot of headache and a lot of pain and a lot of trouble every step of the way. Another one is it just runs away. I've had this happen I don't know how many times. Some examples that I have is I had a hound that was super skittish. I got him second-handed. He was super skittish dog. I didn't ever even think to test him for gun shyness, but he wasn't going too good, so I trained him up a little bit, and I didn't have no whole lot of coons in the woods, so I had a feeder out, so I was cutting him over a feeder. Finally, one night after cutting him over a feeder for a month or so, something like that, he finally treed up with a coon. I just went in there with my 2-2 and tried knocking that coon down. Dog split, disappeared. I was baffled. I never seen anything so extreme in my life. Only thing I could think of is I was on my property, so he must have went back up to the house. The dog went all the way back to the house, got in his dog house. He went in his dog house and laid down and was just scared to death over that one little crack. And I'd never seen anything so extreme, man. Grabbed him, took him all the way back out there. Luckily, the coon wasn't hit good, and he was still up there. And we got him leashed around and turned the whole situation. Tried to get it remedied over into a good one. Another example with the same exact dog. This was after maybe a year of owning this dog. Had him in the woods with a couple, like 4 other dogs, 4 altogether, and hunting with my buddy. First strike, first tree. As soon as you get to the tree, thunderstruck, and this dog bolted straight out of the woods and went and stood around by the truck. He didn't want to go back in the woods. He didn't want to do nothing. So gun shyness can ripple a lot of effects through a dog. So we want to be mindful and make sure that we understand what level of gun shyness that our dog actually is, if it even is. Okay, some of the fixes that we want to look at into. Okay, so definitely when they're a pup, we want to be loud. We don't want to care. Dropping books, that's a good one. Dropping books or slamming stuff or smacking your hand on the table real loud. Just randomly, sporadically. And just seeing how the dog reacts. And once that dog gets kind of desensitized to that, you can kind of feel like, okay, I'm confident enough to go get him through the first one. Another one like guys like to do is firecrackers, like 1 firecracker at a time, or poppets, like little firecracker poppets while they're eating food. That's another good one. Some of them, you just sit around and leash your dog up and just shoot with the dog laying around you and until they kind of get accustomed to it. Well, some of these, you ain't going to do it in one day. You're never going to do that in one day. So don't think that you go and put one day of just shooting 100 rounds by a dog and you fixed it from being gun shy, because you can inadvertently cause a dog to be gun shy. And I think this is kind of what happens, because we just think, oh, he's looking fine for 2 seconds. Well, maybe that dog just got the life scared out of it for the longest amount of time, and it really now is super scared, right? It's kind of a process, little bits at a time, and let's build and get results before we just assume that we've done something. Okay, and then another one that I've done this before is shotguns. Okay, so if we use shotguns, once that 22 comes around, it's going to be nothing. It's going to be like a creek in the floor to that dog. It ain't going to mind 2 seconds. The way that I actually prefer to break a gun shy dog, this is going to be the harder way, especially if you have some of the previous stuff, like leaving a tree, running off, doing all this kind of stuff. But the way I prefer, and I think it nets the best results the quickest, is going to be leashing the dog back at the tree and shooting, and then when the coon comes down, cut the dog off. Okay, and this is the gist of it. But there's kind of some subtleties to this. Is we want to get the dog leash back, and we want to be, while we're shining or while we're scoping, be amping the dog up to keep talking to him, and do that while we're knocking something down. And as soon as that shot goes off, we're going to go right back into talk to him, get him, whatever we're doing to get that dog amped back up. And then you can see it's like the whole combination package. You get the uneasiness about not wanting it to happen. You get it happening. You get none of the bad things. It's not running off. It's not doing this. It's not doing that. And then you also get the best reward you can get, which is the coon when it comes down. And it also clicks the whole process of them. This is the way I prefer to do it. It's not so easy for those dogs that want to leave the tree. You really got to stay on their heels and stay up with them. But with that being said, guys, that's my video on gun shyness. Let me know down in the comments if any of my videos have helped you guys, even in the slightest way. I would really appreciate to know what kind of stuff I'm going out there and what kind of results that you guys are getting from it. Another thing too is don't forget to go down there and hit the promo codes. Don't forget malbrookstudios at Gmail, all lowercase. This is the email. Send your guys' videos in. If you guys have questions that you want to shoot me, or you want to have a conversation, do whatever, just go ahead and send it straight to the email. I'll be there on the other end. I'm not worried. I will get back a hold of you guys as soon and as possible as I possibly can. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep 'em treed, boys.